Guys, today we watching the Poppy Playtime video because I got one more in me. One more. Let's go.
We get introduced to Poppy, this doll who is supposedly the smartest toy ever created. The marketing is giving serious main character energy, claiming she can actually hold a conversation with kids. It is that classic corporate gaslighting where they try to convince you a possessed object is actually
This. All right. Credit. Recaps wizard. Yep. Link below. I will have it. I will have it.
your bestie. Honestly, if a doll started roasting me about my shoe-shining skills, I would immediately leave the chat. We pivot to a tour ad for the Playtime company factory,
This is quite
and the nostalgia
just
bait is real. For a low
like
price,
what's
you can
that
see
dog
where the
called?
nightmares are
Annabelle
made, promising a magical hour in the most wonderful place on
or
earth.
Chucky.
Spoiler alert. It is absolutely not magical, and the only thing waiting for you there is a lifetime of trauma and possibly being turned into a plushie. LaPierre, the head of innovation, drops a security tape that is honestly so aggressive for no reason. He is basically telling trespassers that the factory is rigged with alarms and motion triggers. It is a massive red flag that a toy factory needs security tighter than the Pentagon. He is yapping about how it is not too late to turn around, which is the best advice anyone in this entire saga ever gives.
Hold on.
Rich is complaining to
Lord, Father, bless our food.
and the workplace toxicity is loud.
Hold on. Good Eats. Cheese pizza. I don't know if that's Good Eats.
They are
Dot
Huggy Wuggy
Pizza
boxes
Hut
and
had like a
orphanage program.
buy one get one.
It is giving burnt out employee energy. Rich is
I'm eating.
suspicious about the lack of boxes, realizing the company is prioritizing the orphanage over actual manufacturing. The math is not mathing, and he is the only one realizing the corporation is cooking up something nefarious. Stella is being interviewed, and she is trying way too hard to romanticize working at a factory. She is talking about how adults are just older kids who eventually die, which is a major vibe kill. Her obsession with staying young forever is practically shouting that she is going to volunteer for some horrific experiment. We get a lore drop from a scientist logging details about Experiment 1006, the prototype. This thing is apparently smarter than everyone else and has zero chill. The scientist admits there was a security breach and the prototype almost escaped. It is the classic hubris of science bros, thinking they can control a monster that definitely wants to delete them from existence. Bro is literally creating his own demise. Another commercial break, this time for Mommy Longlegs. The jingle is catchy, but the visuals are nightmare fuel. They are bragging about how she can stretch and bend in creepy ways.
That's
It
fire.
is supposed to be fun for kids, but looking back, it is just foreshadowing how she is going to chase you through the vents like a stretchy spider demon. The foreshadowing is heavy. We finally meet Huggy Wuggy in the flesh, and he is not here to make friends. He offers a hug, but the vibe is immediately hostile. It is that moment when you realize the mascot character is actually the final boss. The sheer size of this blue furry unit is terrifying, and he starts the chase sequence that basically traumatized the entire internet. The player frees Poppy from her case, and she is acting super innocent, apologizing for scaring us. She hits us with the story about being stuck in there for so long. She promises to help us escape by using the train station.
Who said Domino's was bad? I'm just saying.
We have zero other options.
It's hitting
We
different.
have to trust the creepy doll with the Southern Belle accent.
The reason I'm not talking because I understand most of this already. I get it.
Longlegs enters
But
the chat and absolutely kidnaps Poppy. She is not happy that we are trying to leave without playing her twisted little games. She drags Poppy down into the darkness and tells us that if we want the train code, we have to win 3 games. It is basically Squid
Wait, am I
Game,
getting like a walkthrough of this? I mean, I still like it. I'm still gonna watch it, but
but with colorful plastic and way more stretching. Hi there. If you want to enjoy more gaming lore without grinding for 60 hours, hit that subscribe button. I do the grinding so you don't have to. Your support
maybe I missed
really
some lore
helps
that
the
was
channel.
between 1 and
Stella's
5. I
voice
mean, maybe.
returns over the intercom to introduce the game station. Her enthusiasm is incredibly jarring considering we are fighting for our lives. She explains that we need to collect parts of the train code by completing these tests. It is clear these games were never meant to be fun. They were performance reviews for the orphans to see who was strong enough for experiments.
Mm.
We survived the first game,
Okay.
Musical Memory.
I'm
It was
interested.
basically Simon Says on steroids with a murderous bunny watching us. Mommy Longlegs is impressed but also disappointed we did not get crushed. She hands over part of the code, but the passive-aggressive energy is off the charts. She implies there are plenty of other ways to play with us, which is a threat, not an invitation. We find a tape from a disgruntled employee who got demoted to the island of misfit toys. He is ranting about how the company ignored his complaints about safety. It is a
I missed like half of the tapes, maybe more than that. Maybe like 88, maybe like 90, maybe like 100, maybe like 99.8% of the tapes I missed. I promise you I did. I'm sorry.
classic case
Still good though. Go watch that.
of corporate gaslighting where if you
And then come back and watch this. Then I'll get like 7 views.
notice the giant monsters roaming the halls, you get sent to the basement to think about your actions. His sarcasm is the only relatable thing in this dungeon. Next up is Whack-a-Wuggy. The instructions are simple. Hit the huggies coming out of the wall before they jump scare you into the afterlife. It is a reaction test designed to identify the kids with the best reflexes for scientific reasons. The tension is high because these mini-huggies are relentless, and the lighting is absolutely doing us no favors. Marcus is being interviewed about seeing a massive creature, essentially PJ Pugapillar, hiding in the dark. His boss is totally dismissing him, telling him to get back to work and stop making up stories.
I ain't
It is
gonna
the
lie.
ultimate proof that management does not care, except Marcus is genuinely terrified.
Man,
The
I
administration
would be
refusing
too.
to acknowledge the eldritch horrors in the hallway is peak capitalism. Mommy Longlegs is absolutely losing it now. We survived the statues game with PJ Pugapillar, and she realizes we are not just some helpless kid. She drops the facade.
That's my
and
chair,
starts
guys. My
screaming
chair is my
about
chair.
how we left her to die alone in the factory years ago. The shift from playful mommy to vengeful monster is instantaneous. She decides the games are over, and it is time to just straight up unalive
I see that boy.
us.
Pugger puller. My bad. I should have been like this or
The
like that.
final showdown with mommy happens, and she gets caught in the industrial grinder. It is a gruesome scene. As she is being crushed, she screams that he will make her part of him. We see the prototype's needle-like hand reach out and drag her remains away. It is a grim confirmation that the prototype is building himself out of the fallen toys. Absolutely metal.
Okay.
We find a tape
What I don't understand is which he might get to, but I'm saying it now is why does he need Poppy? What does Poppy have that the others don't?
from Jimmy,
I never
the
understood that.
marketing guy, explaining how he names the toys. He thinks slapping an E sound at the end of a name like Huggy or Mommy is genius marketing. He is wildly arrogant about his branding skills. It is hilarious that while horrors are unfolding, this guy is just patting himself on the back for inventing the name Kissy Missy.
Hmm. Hmm.
This segment seems to be a flashback or a different perspective of the hide-and-seek game. Mommy counts down with menacing glee. The tension of hiding from a creature that can stretch her limbs into any vent or crevice is high. It reinforces that the factory was basically a hunting ground long before we showed up. A scientist logs a report about the prototype nearly breaching containment. He used parts of an alarm clock to make a laser pointer and disable the cameras. Bro is literally MacGyver. He hid in a blind spot and killed a specialist.
Mm.
The log confirms that 1006 has unprecedented intelligence and is actively manipulating the staff. He is not just a monster, he is a mastermind. We wake up after the train crash. Poppy is there and her tone has shifted. She says we are perfect and that she cannot let us leave yet because we are capable of fixing the mess. She effectively takes us hostage, guilt-tripping us into staying to kill the prototype.
Pretty
We
much.
thought we were escaping, but we just got drafted into a war.
Yep.
We get introduced to the smiling critters via a news report. Catnap is the main focus. A
Pretty
purple
mid-chapter.
cat that
It was
releases
alright.
red smoke to
It
help
wasn't-
kids sleep. Except
The
oops,
end
the kids are having
Gave it like
violent
2
nightmares.
points. So like it
The
was like a
company
5 or
recalls
6
the
for me.
toys,
I ain't gonna
but
lie.
the damage is done. It is a creepy look into how Playtime Company was experimenting with gas and sleep regulation on children. A counselor is being grilled about an incident where a child saw a colorless monster during sleep. The gaslighting continues as the higher-ups try to brush it off as a bad dream. The counselor is genuinely worried, describing the kid's terror, but the administration just wants to cover it up. It shows that the staff knew exactly how dangerous Catnap's red smoke was. We get a call from Ollie, our new mysterious ally.
Mm.
He sounds like a kid and guides us through the play care. He is incredibly helpful, giving us keys and explaining the battery systems.
Which
but
is
it is almost
interesting.
too good to be true.
Exactly.
He
Everybody
tells
know
us
that.
Catnap worships the prototype as a god. Ollie is basically our GPS through hell, assuming he is actually real.
Assume.
We watch an old tape of Elliot Ludwig, the founder, giving a speech about play care. He talks about creating a safe haven for orphans, a place of smiles and hope. The irony is suffocating because we are standing in the ruins of that safe haven, which is now a damp, moldy dungeon filled with killer toys. His dream of a perfect orphanage aged like milk. Ollie directs us to the gas production zone. This is the heart of the evil, pumping out the red smoke that keeps the toys docile and hallucinating. Our mission is to divert the smoke to kill Catnap. It is an industrial nightmare zone, and Ollie warns us that the machine has safeguards.
Ollie was a snake. Like, bro, I did not, bro. I don't think nobody trusted anybody. My bad. My grammar is terrible. I don't think anybody trusted Ollie from the beginning. It was just weird that you just knew everything that we were doing at what specific time we were doing it too. It's insane.
We are basically performing unauthorized plumbing in a toxic gas facility. There is a welcome home tape that is pure psychological warfare. It describes returning to the factory only
I need another piece of pizza.
by things
Pizza
that
cooking.
used to be human.
Pizza is
Video
cooking. My
describes
bad. I can't
monsters
talk.
with mouths full of plastic and meat waiting in the shadows. It is a threat directly to the ex-employees, telling them that their return is not a homecoming. It is a feeding time. We meet Kissy Missy, and surprisingly,
I love
she does
Kissy.
not try to rip our face off.
I love it too.
Poppy introduces her as an ally.
I love
They
Kissy.
need our help to end the madness. It is a rare moment of alliance in a game where
I
everything
know,
wants
and
to
it's
kill
like,
you.
look at her.
Poppy explains
she
that the
actually
prototype
smiling.
is the root of all evil, and he needs to be taken out for the torture to end. We enter the school, which is arguably the scariest place yet. The intercom introduces
Yeah,
Miss Delight,
Yeah, nah.
the
This was
teacher.
crazy.
We find notes revealing that she
I-
killed the other teachers
I-
to survive and ate them. She is completely
Okay, for this part, okay, I'll give them like 2 more points. So I'll give them like a 7. 7 I'll give it like a 7. All right. So first points gave it to like a 5, 5, 6. The second points gave it to like a 7, 8.
unhinged, obsessed with her students who are clearly gone. The atmosphere shifts from industrial horror to psychological survival horror.
Bro, look
The
at this, bro.
confrontation with Miss Delight is intense. She moves only when we are not looking, weeping angel style. She mocks us, laughing about how we are going to die just like the others. We eventually trap her or crush her, ending her reign
Bear back. Let's go.
of terror in the school. It is a huge relief to get out of that classroom. We find Dog Day, the last of the smiling critters, chained up in a cell. He is missing his legs, which is
This was scary for
horrifying.
me too.
He
I
tells us
know.
that Catnap worships the prototype as a savior. Dog Day tries to warn us to leave, but the mini critters swarm him and finish him off. It is a tragic end for the only genuinely good guy we have met down here, besides maybe Kissy. Ollie explains the shrine we found. Catnap built it for the prototype because 1006 saved his life during an accident. To Catnap, the prototype is not just a leader, he is a deity. This explains why Catnap is so fanatical and willing to kill anyone who opposes the prototype's will. We are dealing with a religious cult leader in the body of a purple cat. We get hit with the red smoke and go on a hallucinogenic trip. The voice tells us to find the flower. The reality bends and we see twisted visions of the factory and the guilt we carry. It is a psychological attack, forcing us to confront the fact that we were not there when the bad things happened, and now we are walking through the graveyard of our former co-workers. Catnap is defeated, electrocuted in the final battle. The prototype's hand descends, but instead of helping his loyal follower, he kills Catnap and takes his body.
Ridiculous.
It is brutal betrayal. Poppy then shows us a tape called The Hour of Joy. It reveals the truth.
But I'm pretty
The
sure
toys
Poppy, not Poppy,
coordinated an attack and
Catnap knew
slaughtered
it.
every human in the factory in 1 hour. Absolute carnage. Poppy narrates the horror of The Hour of Joy. She describes the screams and the senseless slaughter. The toys did not just kill the guilty scientists, they killed everyone. Then they dragged the bodies down to the lower levels to eat them to survive.
Man.
It paints the toys not just as victims, but as desperate monsters who crossed a line they can never come back from. We take an elevator down with Poppy to go hunt the prototype. But suddenly, Kissy Missy, who stayed behind, is attacked. We hear her screaming over the intercom. Poppy is distraught, but we cannot go back up. We are forced to descend deeper into the factory's underbelly, leaving Kissy to an unknown fate. The stakes just skyrocketed.
Like, up, up, up.
Ollie calls us one last time before we enter the lower levels. He warns us that what we saw above was nothing compared to the hell below. He says the piles of dead came from inside here. His tone is grimmer than usual, emphasizing that we need to keep our guard up constantly, because this is the prototype's actual lair. We enter a prison section and a new voice mocks us. This is the doctor, who seems to have transferred his consciousness into a machine or system. He is arrogant, watching us through cameras, treating us like another test subject. He is fascinated by our survival skills, but clearly intends to dissect us emotionally and physically. Chaos erupts in the prison. The toys are rebelling against the doctor. He starts panicking, realizing
That doctor boy. That doctor boy. That boy, hey, he will be a problem in season 2, chapter 1. I don't know.
his control is slipping. He begs the warden for the Omni Hand, a device that controls the facility. He tries to bargain.
Bro, we used to have that.
Safe passage if we help
Right?
him.
What happened
It
to
is
it?
satisfying to hear the arrogant scientist suddenly terrified of his own creations. A flashback tape of an executive meeting reveals the corporate plotting against Sawyer. They wanted to remove him because his experiments were becoming a liability and a money pit. They discuss knocking him out of the equation without killing him, likely leading to his current state trapped in the machine. Playtime politics were just as cutthroat as the toys.
That makes sense.
We meet a new
He
character,
was too
Doughy,
brilliant to
a
kill.
large clay-like monster. Surprisingly, he is friendly. He offers to guide us through the prison. He admits he is hungry, but promises not to eat us. Doughy seems naive and childlike, a stark contrast to the sophisticated malice of the Doctor. He leads us through the interrogation rooms, sharing his trauma. We stumble upon a scene where workers are counting bodies. They refer to the Playtime Butcher, a mythical figure among the toys. The workers are callous, treating the dead experiments like inventory. It reinforces the cruelty of the humans that led to the uprising. The summary implies the player is being viewed as this butcher figure by the toys.
I mean, I'd be mad too if I was being
Poppy and the
subjugated to like
player
that.
regroup at a safe haven. Poppy
To just
reveals
terrible
her
experiments
plan:
all day.
fill the Foundation with red smoke and ignite it with mining charges to blow the whole factory sky high. It is a scorched earth policy. She wants to end it all.
I forgot that what the
However,
plan was, but
Doughy and other toys are
it
hesitant
ain't go like that.
because the factory, despite its horrors, is the only home they have. Doughy pleads his case. He explains that the toys in the safe haven are his family. He argues that destroying the factory means destroying them too. He asks us to consider if revenge is worth sacrificing the innocent toys who are just trying to survive. It introduces a heavy moral dilemma: destroy the evil at the cost of the victims, or try to save them. We get a flashback of the construction of the prison. The contractor is arguing with the executives, asking why a toy company needs a high-security prison. The exec, likely Pierre or Sawyer, threatens him with his contract. It shows the premeditated nature of the cruelty. They planned to imprison the experiments from the very beginning. A devastating log reveals Doughy's origin. He was a problem child named Kevin Barnes, who did not get along with others. Dr. Sawyer decided he was the perfect candidate for the raw dough experiment, stripping away his humanity because he was aggressive. It turns the lovable giant into a tragic victim of a system that punished troubled kids by turning them into monsters. We confront the Doctor face to face. He monologues about how Poppy does not actually care about us, claiming she is just using us like a tool. He tries to sow discord, painting himself as a visionary who was betrayed by small-minded executives. He challenges our morality, asking if we are really any different from the monsters we fight. The Doctor realizes he is trapped. The executives in a flashback tell him he is going to be wired into the infrastructure permanently. He is furious, screaming about his intellect being wasted. In the present, he is bitter and desperate. It is a poetic justice that the man who treated people like objects is now literally a piece of the building's hardware. The Doctor forces us into a sadistic
This is
choice.
crazy.
To open the door, we have to kill a small, helpless toy or let the Doctor live. He mocks our hesitation, calling it a moral high road. It is a test of our resolve. The summary implies we have to make a hard call, likely sacrificing the small toy to proceed, proving that survival requires dirty hands. A flashback shows a worker, Rich, talking to a young employee who is fed up with the company. The kid wants to rebel, but Rich advises him to keep his head down. It adds depth to the human element because not everyone was evil. Some were just trying to keep their jobs in a nightmare factory. It makes their eventual deaths in the hour
True.
of joy even sadder. We are fixing
I
the
mean, but
generator with Doughy.
you're going
Ollie
along
is
with it,
on the
so
comms, giving
you gotta bear witness.
instructions,
You
but
gotta bear
things
those
feel off.
consequences.
Doughy is suspicious of Ollie, sensing a trap. We have to override chipset protocols and swap surge protectors while the defenses are down. The tension is high because we are vulnerable, and the trust between the allies is fracturing. A heartbreaking scene where parents visit their sick child who has been turned into a monster. The parents are horrified, but the mom refuses to leave her son, Jack. The boy, fully monster-fied, tells them to leave before he hurts them. It is one of the darkest moments, showing the human consciousness trapped inside the beasts. Dowie snaps. The trauma and the conflicting orders push him over the edge. He blames the player and Poppy for everything, screaming that we ruined their home. He attacks us in a blind rage. It is tragic because he was our friend, but the stress of the situation and his own instability turn him into a boss fight we did not want. After the fight, Dowie is defeated
I wish we
and
could
broken.
have saved Dowie.
He apologizes, crying that he just wants to go home. Poppy tries to comfort him, but the damage is done. It reinforces the theme that there are no winners here. Even the monsters are just scared kids who have been tortured into madness. We leave him behind, adding to our guilt. The ultimate plot twist drops. Poppy calls out to Ollie, realizing he lied about the explosives or the plan. The voice on the other end shifts. It is not Ollie. It never was. It is the prototype mimicking a child's voice to manipulate us the entire time. We have been doing the villain's dirty work, clearing the path for him. We are absolutely cooked. The prototype speaks directly to Poppy. He mocks her, telling her that her friends are dead and she has nothing. He invites her to come home. He reveals that he knows everything. It is a chilling villain monologue where he strips away all our hope. He has been pulling the strings
Look at
since we
Hissy, bro.
walked in the door. Poppy is
Or Kissy, my
devastated.
bad. Kissy.
We find ourselves in a new, even weirder section of the lab. A video plays about wrong-side-out animals, toys that are inverted inside out.
Oh
It
my.
is body horror central.
It
The
sounds
aesthetic
like
is
it.
cute but gory. We are in the deep labs where the most twisted biological experiments happened. The visuals of cute animals turned into meat pretzels are disturbing.
This is ridiculous.
We stumble through the sewers and meet Gil, a scrappy survivor toy. He identifies us as the Playtime Butcher, a name the toys have given the player. He is wary but willing to help because he hates the prototype too. He has got a rough, street-smart vibe, living in the literal filth of the factory to avoid the hunters. Gil takes us to his hideout. It is a makeshift home in the sewers. He tells us that Poppy's plan to blow up the factory was known, and while he thinks it is extreme, he respects the hustle. He offers to gear us up with better equipment from the boilers. He is the first straightforward ally we have had in hours who is not trying to manipulate us. We meet Chum, Gil's partner. They have a plan to use a negation formula to stop the prototype. Apparently, Playtime Company made a chemical to
I fuck with this. I mess with this duo. Look at him, bro. He tough. Okay, I mess with
We
him.
need to
I
raid
did
the
like him a lot.
reanimation area to get it. It is a fetch
He was
quest,
cool.
but
He was
with
cool.
high stakes.
I'm
We
surprised we
finally
didn't
have
see
a
him
weapon that
at
can
the end
actually hurt the
of
big bad.
chapter 5. Like they forgot about him or
The
something.
flashback sequence puts us in the
Weird.
shoes of Huggy Wuggy during his conditioning. We see how the scientists tortured him, forcing him to play games and punishing him when he failed. It recontextualizes the Chapter 1 chase. Huggy was not just a monster. He was a tortured animal conditioned to attack. It makes you feel bad for the blue guy.
It does.
We stumble into a surreal joy party. The toys are dancing in a trance, chanting about being happy forever. It is a cult. They repeat "I am a toy" over and over, dissociating from their pain. It is terrifying because they are essentially lobotomized by trauma, desperate to believe the lie that being a plastic monstrosity is paradise. The cult leader encourages the toys to reject their organic parts and embrace the soft
Bro,
plastic.
this
It
is
body
nightmare
dysmorphia
fuel, bro.
weaponized. They throw bad
Like, this
toys
is-
into a box, which is anyone who resists.
This is actually
The
like
player is spotted and obviously does not fit
that's
the
Miss
joyful
Rachel, y'all.
toy
I'm telling
vibe,
y'all,
So
bro.
the horde turns on us.
Or that
We have
person
to
that be in
blend
YouTube
in
right
or
now.
run.
I don't know her name though. I don't want to get
We
sued.
encounter Lily Love
I don't got no money,
Brains,
but I don't
a
want to get
doll
sued.
who is hosting a tea party with rotting corpses. She is completely delusional, believing the dead bodies are her guests. She talks to them as if they are alive. It is deeply disturbing. She wants to braid hair
Okay, so
and
that's
eat
what I'm saying.
crumpets, oblivious to the carnage around her.
This is my favorite character. Guys, she is my favorite character. I don't care.
We have to play along to
She's
survive.
my favorite character.
We try to sneak away from Lily's party, but she catches us. Her demeanor flips from sweet hostess to psycho jailer. She insists we cannot leave before the special guest arrives. She claims the guest will be thrilled to see us. It is clear the special guest is the prototype or one of his executioners, and we are the main course. The prototype arrives or speaks. He reveals that Poppy is responsible for the orphan's
such a good
disappearance
scene.
or death. Poppy breaks down, realizing her crusade caused more harm than good. The
Bro,
prototype
it's like
mocks
he had an aura.
calling her a child who needs to be fixed. The psychological dismantling of our main ally is complete. Poppy is left shattered. Lily throws a tantrum because we ruined her party. She screams that it is all our fault. We push a button holding her cloud platform,
And boom
everything
goes the
comes
dynamite.
tumbling down. Lily screams as she is crushed by the cloud. It is a chaotic end to the party from hell. We link up with the train again. It is a final, desperate run. We are switching tracks, picking up speed, trying to outrun the prototype.
This was a crazy
It
scene,
is
bro.
high
Like
octane
all of
action.
this was like
We are hurtling towards
they
the end of the line.
they did their stuff with
hoping
this
the
game,
brakes
bro.
work
It
this
did.
time.
This
We are
was
just
phenomenal.
trying to
Ooh.
survive.
I got hit too, but it's phenomenal.
After the
But
train
then
explodes, the prototype
he
comes
gave
crawling out
boy,
of the
that boy
wreckage.
came with a
Why won't
shink.
this guy just die already?
Shink.
The group turns around
Oh, he
in
felt
horror
that.
and
Oh,
attempts to run away,
oh,
but we are
oh,
caught and stabbed
oh
by the
my
prototype.
God. Oh, oh.
In the final moments, the prototype
I can
drags
feel
us
it.
over to a container of poppy gel and drops us inside to die. The scene begins to fade to black as we lose consciousness, but Giblet appears
This
and
was such
brings
a
us back
good-
to life with an electric shock. The race is on to find Poppy
This is
and
such
the
a
prototype.
good little lore video.
Game-
Guys, that's the video. I missed a lot of those tapes. So there's a lot of things I did not know. But most of it was really familiar. It's just man. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'd rather still be a Poppy Playtime puppet toy than Freddy Fazbear animatronic. I'm gonna leave that there. You guys decide in the comments. I don't know. I would rather be a Puppet Playtime toy. If I had no choice, if I had a choice, you know, I want to be nothing. But if I didn't have a choice, Poppy Playtime. I might have a chance to survive if I just stay with Catnap.